South African politics is full of symbols, gestures that look small at first, but signal something much bigger underneath. And when President Cyril Ramaphosa personally intervened to allow more than 150 undocumented Palestinians into South Africa, even after border authorities denied them entry, many people felt that something deeper was at play. Today, we are unpacking why some South Africans have started asking the provocative question, is Ramaphosa politically owned by the Palestinian cause? Now, to be clear, we are not talking about ownership in the literal sense. This is about political alignment and how far a leader goes to support a foreign cause, even when it clashes with domestic protocol, immigration law, or geopolitical risks. And Ramaphosa has consistently gone further than most world leaders on this issue. Let's start with the basics. When the undocumented Palestinians landed at OR Tambo, border authorities immediately denied them entry. They had no visas, no accommodation details, no departure stamps, and no asylum applications. By the book, they should not have been admitted. But Ramaphosa overruled this. He told Home Affairs Minister Leon Schreiber, "We cannot turn them back, out of compassion and empathy, we must receive them." Here's where the suspicion begins. Ramaphosa did not say, "This is a once-off humanitarian exception." He did not say, "We will thoroughly investigate before taking action." Instead, he took a preemptive moral position, one that ignored administrative requirements and immediately framed the Palestinians as victims of a global injustice that South Africa is morally obligated to correct. And when you connect the decision to the fact that South Africa is currently leading the most aggressive legal battle against Israel anywhere in the world, dragging Israel before the International Court of Justice on genocide charges, a picture begins to form. The optics suggest that Ramaphosa is not just sympathetic to Palestine, he is politically invested in Palestine. Now add Minister Ronald Lamola's explosive statement, "We do not want any further flights to come our way." This is a clear agenda to cleanse Palestinians out of Gaza and the West Bank. Lamola is effectively saying the quiet part out loud. South Africa believes a global relocation scheme is underway. And in this worldview, refusing Palestinians would be morally equivalent to participating in their ethnic cleansing. That worldview explains Ramaphosa's posture. It explains why he would bypass documentation. It explains why he would override border management. It explains why he would accept refugees without due process, while simultaneously preparing for a G20 summit that requires maximum geopolitical stability. And this is where the idea of being owned comes in. When a leader becomes so morally embedded in a foreign struggle that domestic procedure becomes secondary, people start reading the behavior as allegiance, and allegiance so strong it looks like obligation. Ramaphosa's ICJ case, his alignment with pro-Palestine activist groups, his rhetorical framing of South Africa as the global anti-apartheid conscience, these all reinforce the perception that South Africa is not simply supporting Palestine, it is politically invested to a level that looks personal. So, is Ramaphosa owned by Palestine? Not in reality. But politically, symbolically, and behaviorally, he acts like a leader whose identity, legacy, and moral authority are tied to the Palestinian cause. And in politics, perception often matters more than truth.